Hi. My name is Lowenna, and I'm a singer and a performance artist. I want to say 3 years. Yeah, I'll say 3 years, but I did a bit of singing before that, but I want to say more professionally and more seriously in the past 3 years. It's an event that a friend of mine from Waterloo put on, and yep, she reached out, invited me, asked if I wanted to perform, and I said yes. I can't stop myself from falling. I felt a little bit nervous because it just took a lot of preparation and getting ready. Not even in terms of like the music itself per se, but just getting there and like figuring out what to wear and like all those little things that go into a performance that are very much behind the scenes. Yeah, getting there on time and making sure you get to do sound check and things like that. So that was a little bit challenging in finding time because Kola, my piano partner, our schedules different, living in different cities. So yeah, that was a little bit challenging, but we managed to navigate it well, and I think it went really, really well. I want to say the hardest part was rehearsing some of the songs that I hadn't done in a while, or some songs that I just haven't done before. I have a new song that I released a couple of weeks ago called Bad For Me, and this event was more of a paint and sip vibe, so it didn't really fit. So trying to make it acoustic and trying to make it more mellow and chill was a bit difficult to do, to arrange it. So that was a challenge, and also because Kola and I have only practiced a couple of songs together, so the scope is pretty limited in terms of what we can select from. So arranging Bad For Me was a bit of a challenge. We managed to find a way around it, but I think we just didn't have enough time to practice it so that we were comfortable. So we ended up doing a different song instead that I think actually pleased the crowd a lot because a bunch of them knew it and they sang along, so it was nice. Usually I'll sing my originals and I'll try to start with those just to get them out there more, get people listening to them, and hopefully pique someone's interest and have somebody be like, oh, what song is that? And then I can be like, it's mine. So I usually just start with mine. I also mainly look at the vibe of the event. Regardless, I think I'll usually perform my originals just because they're mine, and as an artist you want to be able to showcase your own work before anything else. But then I look at the vibe of the event, what is kind of expected, how long the set is, and then from that I kind of decide. This was, as I said, very chill, paint and sip, low-key. Everybody was just sitting down, painting, having a drink. So this felt like the kind of event where you would just have a couple of chill songs, slow, not too many instruments, soft, things like that. So decide your beef, be amongst your brothers, no sides to pick, you gotta find your level. I think the only expectations really that I have is just to have the opportunity to do sound checks and things like that, because those are really important for how the event will actually go. And even though they always say that however you rehearse it and however you sound check it does not always turn out to be what you do and produce on stage, which is true, I would say, for the most part. But I always just expect to have the opportunity to do that so that I feel more prepared. I get a sense of what the stage will be, how the audience will be viewing me, where to look, and like how to engage the crowd and things like that. Let it dance for me as I pour the bottle, cause I plan to see. This was actually my first paint and sip event, and I've seen a lot of those coming up and being more popular, and I've never performed at one, so that was really nice to get the chance to do that. And I've also never done one myself, so I thought this would have been the opportunity, but I was also too focused on performing and practicing and getting things right. It didn't differ much in terms of the vibe. I always use the word vibe because it's the best way to capture what I mean, but yeah, it didn't differ much in terms of the vibe of it and in terms of what I've done in the past, because at this point I do pretty similar gigs and pretty similar occasions, so most of the things are consistent. Yeah, so it was good. It was nice and standard, and the people were very receptive, very warm. The crowd was nice, and it was good. Yes. So we so Kola, my piano partner, had his keyboard and everything. We were ready to go. We had finished rehearsing, and then we got to sound check, and we were trying to connect the keyboard to the sound system, and we realized that there was no adapter to actually plug it in. And because it's not actually his keyboard, he was borrowing it from a friend, so he didn't know the ins and outs and didn't expect to need an adapter for that. So that was interesting, because we probably wouldn't have been able to use the sustain pedal if we didn't find an adapter, and the sustain pedal is very important for the performance. So luckily we asked some of the sound people that were there, and one of them had another cable that we were able to use. It was shorter, so it was not ideal in terms of where we had to place the piano so that it could reach the actual outlet. But that was the only hiccup. It would have been a challenge to not have sound from the keyboard. We would have probably just mic'd up the keyboard and had him play like that, but I just think the sound wouldn't have been as good and wouldn't have carried as far. So the fact that we were able to find a solution was good. Yeah. I'm tired of it all. It really did, and it always does, because there'll always be like one or two or three people that are so attentive and so engrossed in my singing and my performance, and it's really, really nice. So it has two sides to it. There's times where you get on stage and you're a bit nervous, so you almost don't want people to pay attention to you, because it's like, if I sound good, then like it means that I don't sound out of the ordinary, so people aren't going to pay attention. Like, so long as I sound good, I'll fade into the background, because nobody's ever going to be like, oh my gosh, like what's going on, and that, I feel like that usually happens when you miss a note or like something goes wrong. People will like do a little turn and like try to figure out what happened. When it sounds good, people generally don't do that, because as humans, we just don't pay attention to the good stuff sometimes. So I don't know, I find that like a lot of people will just kind of go about their business, and then that's kind of how I know that I'm doing an okay job, that I'm not calling any negative attention. But then on the flip side, you obviously want people to notice you, and you want that validation that you're doing well. So going back to the one or two people, there's always that one or two people that are so attentive, like they're making eye contact, they're smiling, they're swaying their heads, they're even singing along a little bit. And there was a couple of those in the crowd, a couple that I would notice looking at me, and I would smile at them and they'd smile back, and it would just give me so much energy to keep going. And it would, I don't know, just those are the moments that make it worthwhile, which is why I like performing. It's something that used to be very daunting to me before, and it's taken a lot of practice and a lot of work to get to this point where I'm comfortable and can control my nerves. So yeah, those just make my whole day. I might be doing something wrong. I actually think that was my best performance in a while. I think my voice did everything that it was supposed to do. Because there's some times where your voice just doesn't work with you, and it happens because you won't have perfect performances every time, but I think this felt the best. And obviously, as artists, we'll always be hypercritical of ourselves, and you'll always nitpick at everything, and you'll listen to the videos again and be like, did I hit that note right, or did I do this right? But as I was doing it, I felt good. Like, I felt in control. I felt like it would be okay. Like, even there'll be little challenging points in the song where you're thinking about it, and you're thinking about the build up and the attack, and you're trying to make sure that you get there right. But even those, I didn't feel nervous. I felt nervous, but I'm like, I can do this. So yeah, it was one of those that I felt very comfortable. Not as nervous as I would have normally been, probably also because it was a chill, low stakes kind of event. But yeah, definitely one of my best in a long time. Yeah. If we had more time to rehearse, I feel like we probably would have been able to do a couple more songs that I wanted to try. I know there's another one called The Very Thought of You that I really like, and I would have liked to do that one. But again, there was just not enough time. Kola and I live in different cities, so finding a common time to rehearse was just going to be challenging. So yeah, if there was more time to rehearse, we probably would have tried a couple more songs. Probably would have perfected Bad for Me as well, and could have performed that as well. But I'm happy that I didn't perform that one just yet, because I want it to be perfect, you know, because like the first time you perform a new song, you want it to be the perfect setting. So yeah, I'm happy that I got to keep that one in the back pocket, and now I can figure out a way to arrange it in the way I want. Yeah, I think that's the only thing I would change, and maybe just having the adapter so that the so that the keyboard could be closer to the stage. But yeah. I think the most memorable parts will always be those little moments where like people look at me and I can actually tell that they're enjoying my performance, and they're vibing, and they're having a good time. And I do this because I enjoy giving people that feeling. And yeah, it was just really nice, those little glimpses that people give you, and those little smiles, and like when people come up to you after and say that they really liked what you did, or they liked your song, or they liked this. There's actually a lady that came up to me, and she said that she really liked my rendition of Jailer, and she said it made her emotional, which made me so happy. Yeah, we had like a little hug, and it was very sweet. So yeah, definitely one of my most memorable moments. I would say refreshing. Yeah, I would say refreshing, because I don't know, it was just an all-around good time. I felt like I did really well. I put on a good show, and obviously there'll be things that you want to work on, and as always, but yeah, it was just a breath of fresh air to get to do it for the first time in a while, and for it to go so well. Not that my past ones have gone terribly, but I don't know, like this is the first one where I feel 100% confident in myself, and that doesn't happen often, because I'll always have criticisms of myself, and I'll always want to make things better. So this one was just refreshing. Like it's supposed to scare me. The smoke and flames make me come alive. Definitely a rendition of Bad for Me, because I definitely want to perform that one soon. Just want to find the right time and the place, and yeah, just want to figure out how to arrange it in a way that is perfect for what it will be for. And also just because the way you record the song is very different from the way you perform it. So like for Bad for Me, there was a lot of different chunks of recording that went into it. So when you try to perform it live, it's a lot different. So you have to figure out where to breathe, or like where to insert this or where to insert that. So I'm excited to arrange that and make it happen soon. And yeah, just performing continues, and the work continues, because I want to perfect my craft, get better at it, become more known for it, and yeah, that's all. I guess that's all artists can hope for. Yeah. Say it in the people. I'm just trying to see if. Go straight back.